Let's go to Fulham, right? Because you've got away with it so far, Mr. Rossini, right?
Lay it on.
Cucurella sent off 7 player red cards this season, 8 if you include the manager as well. You again shared the post last night of you with the afro saying, I'm not cutting my hair until Chelsea go 5 games without getting a red card. I mean, it was a red card, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't hold someone back, last man. And we've done that multiple times this season. Last man, we've made stupid decisions and got sent off. I think Chalobah had one as well. Sanchez came out as a keeper last man, just clattered into a person in the Man United game. We're not very bright. We're not a very intelligent group of individuals, I'll be honest. We're very dense at times, very dumb. And it's funny because it's not even the youngsters always getting sent off. If it was always the 18, 20-year-olds, I'd be like, oh, okay, it's just immaturity. It's actually the experienced players that are also getting sent off as well. So very wide variety of people getting sent off. The manager's been sent off previously, Maresca. I think we've had 7 red cards. It's just unsustainable and idiocy. And you're not going to be able to accumulate points and be consistent if you can't even have your players available from game to game. Caicedo suspended for the first leg against Arsenal next Wednesday. He was suspended for City. You know, these things all tally up. They all add up. So it's just it's ill-discipline and it's just idiocy. And I really don't know where it stems from at this point because, like I said, it's actually the most experienced players doing it. And you'd think they'd know better. And you'd think if you're accumulating a lot of red cards at the start of the season, you're going to iron it out. And the telling off is going to be so severe. Wages need to be getting docked or something for people to understand that you just can't do this. You can't throw games away. We've literally thrown that game away again. Fulham, they were all right. Nothing special. I think Kevin, when he came on, was really bright. He looks like a fun player. Wilson, great form, really, really good player. Jimenez always can give you a goal. Yeah, Harry Wilson's, he was quality at Derby under Lampard. He just didn't get the chance at Liverpool. There's too many good players. But I don't go away from that Fulham game thinking, just Fulham's just too good, man. Just can't get a result at Fulham. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
When you get a player sent off after 22 minutes, naturally the game plan, I wouldn't say goes out the window, but massively changes.
But there's a caretaker in charge.
But you still managed to get you were drawing.
Yeah,
until fairly late.
Yeah, but the caretaker's in charge. How much can you really put on him? Yeah. Do you really want to see?
I'm not putting any.
You can't put anything on him, really. No. Do you really want to see Tosin next to Chalobah in a centre back pairing again? Absolutely not. But that's what we went with. Neto again, just like in the previous game, awful. Palmer poor. But Neto's a special poor now. Like in terms of the level that he's playing at in some of these games, it's almost like playing with a man down. He's killing attacks. He gets the ball on the left hand side, and he just floats in the same type of cross time and time again. Obviously, Delap got his goal, which was nice, but he also missed another big chance on the 1v1, which he probably should have taken. And the defending for both the goals is kamikaze as well. So yeah, we're just. I don't really know what's gonna happen for us in the Premier League. We're gonna be probably going to the last day for Champions League qualification, as we did last season as well. And we do this a lot. Even under Tuchel, I believe there was a last day. Mason Mount free kick, I remember there was a last day. So we do this very often in the last few years, and it's all about the cups. That's all I'm thinking about now. Charlton, Arsenal, and Champions League, because the league is just a mess.
You know what it is? Winless in 5 now.
Yeah, for 3 points from the last 15 available.
Right.
So
I feel like Rosinia's just got to come in and just calm everyone down. When it comes to these red cards, Arsenal had a period 3 or 4 years ago where we were just getting red cards left, right and centre. I remember Pepe headbutted someone. No, a few years before that, Xhaka used to get sent off left, right and centre. Like stupid red cards where it's just like, just a head loss. And I think a lot of the time, it comes from desperation to do well. Desperation to impress. Like Cucurella last night, you're an experienced player. You don't need to pull him back. No. Let him get in front of you. Maybe try and block the shot. If he scores, you put your hands up, you're 1-0 down, you go again.
Yeah.
I think Rosinia just has to come in and say, we have a lot of quality here, right? We don't have to be desperate to do well. We can do well by just playing our game.
Depends on the position. Some players, there's not so much quality.
No, but there is quality there. Like João Pedro, when he came in Club World Cup, was brilliant.
Yeah.
Where has that gone? He got himself sent off once or two. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels a bit like we have to be Chelsea. We have to be good. Whereas if you just strip it all back and say we have quality in this team, let's see where we are. And just cut out all the stupidity because it is so dumb. Like you say, you threw that game away.
Palmer's one of my biggest concerns because he's one of our few technicians in the final third that can actually open the door. And even though he had a poor game last night, he played a wonderful pass in behind. And you just thought, we need this consistently more often because if you're not running that attack, like you said, quality, I think there's quality in midfield. Andre Santos gets hooked because the 10 men, but he had a great game against City, Caicedo. But in the forward line, we've got a lot of counter-attacking, kamikaze, chaos players. They don't suit possession-based football and low blocks and finding the threading the ball through the needle, or the fine touches that need to be first touch on point, decision-making on point, tight spaces. They're making mistakes in space. Sometimes we're counter-attacking and Neto and Garnacho are linking up. It's honestly one of the worst things you'll ever see. Yeah. They're making the wrong decisions with time and space, let alone when they don't have time and space. And Delap, he's always been a chaotic kind of striker. At Ipswich, we saw him, he's thriving off those transitions. So I don't really understand what we're building with our attack. Because as much as I could talk about the system, absolutely, we put Palmer back on the right. We give the Gusto overlap. It didn't change much in terms of the lack of imagination and creativity in our attack. Our best chances last night come from the corners. The corners were great. They're hitting the post, hitting the bar. That's where the goal comes from. But in open play, very bland. Yeah. Very, very boring. Yeah. A lot of overhit passes the first 20 minutes. We didn't have a shot until I don't even know when.
You look back at the summer as well, the recruitment. And this goes back to the whole player trading thing that they're doing, the strategy that they've taken doing that. You look at Garnacho, I know better than most, can sometimes do it, but he's largely unproven. Gittins, moments, largely unproven. You've got Liam Delap, who in this whole time, I know he's very young, so caveat that, but 13 Premier League goals. It's not a lot there. Joao Pedro, not really a 9, not really a 10, somewhere in between. No bagsman, like it's just
there's no threat in the air.
Yeah, but it's just it feels like half-hearted threats everywhere, where one of them could end up becoming something like a Cole Palmer, but it feels like it's 1 in 10 at the moment.
Palmer's the only actual threat, and he's not had a good season.
He's not had a good 25.
I don't know if
he's been poor for a year.
He's still having to come off. So if we're trying to get back into a game and Cole Palmer's coming off again, which he did last night, it tells me that he's not fully fit. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I don't know why you take your best player off and not having played for 90 minutes unless there's some sort of issue there. So
was Reece James playing?
Reece James came off the bench and he was brilliant. If we had 11 Reece Jameses, life would be a lot easier.
He might be your best player.
He definitely is.
He is. Yeah, this season is our player of the year.
Mark, what are you expecting from seriously from Liam?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, because he's a great communicator. Clearly, really good talker. I think a lot of the managers we appoint recently, they talk very well at the beginning, but it's about what happens on the pitch at the end of the day. We might get a bit of a honeymoon new manager bounce and the players will be up for it. I don't know, and then they start getting some results. But this is a really difficult job because you don't have any say on any. It doesn't feel like you have any say on anything. And dare I say it feels like the teams are always being picked by someone else at times. You see the reports that come out as well. So I don't even know how much you can judge a manager's or a head coach's post in the modern day in scenarios like this, where there's so much money in the game. You got directors, you got owners, you got people having their own agendas, their own priorities, and it's not always about winning football or winning trophies. It's there's other things going on in the background. So for me, he's just the face of it. He's the face of the ownership. He's the face of Blueco. He's in his post. Yes, he's probably got potential, just like Maresca did. Maybe his stock will go up in 24 months. But the actual issue here is more than the manager. So the manager could come in and get us a couple of wins. But then what's going to happen with the recruitment in the summer? What kind of quality are you going to bring in? What's going to be the situation when we maybe do get a cup? Are you going to try and kick on? If you're not, going to be back in the same situation again. Because the Premier League right now is not a big enough differential between quality in some of these teams. There's so many players that we have that could easily go and play for Bournemouth or Brentford, and you would not even bat an eyelid. That is not how you differentiate between the teams on the pitch. Chelsea had Jose Mourinho, Chelsea had Conte, but we also had Hazard, we had Kante, Diego Costa. They don't walk into Bournemouth's team. They annihilate these teams, you know what I mean? World-class managers want world-class players for a reason. It's not for a joke. And I'm not saying that the whole team needs to be Galacticos, but you can't have a forward line. There's no guarantees in it, apart from Palmer, who's fallen off the wagon. You got a striker in the box who can't head the ball. You got a winger that can't stop crossing the ball. It's not rocket science. People ask, how can we drop points? Someone can cross the ball and Jimenez can head the ball. Goal.
Great header as well.
It's a great header. But it's like, make things make sense. And they don't even do that. So it's like, are you prioritizing whatever system or whatever tactics that you're going with in terms of your recruitment? Or are you just buying a certain age group, certain wage point with a certain pure profit margin or profit margin or gain that you're trying to make? You're not actually thinking about how these players are actually going to link up and actually get the best out of each other.
It's just about flipping and profit.
So Yeah, it's all over the place.
I wonder if because he's such a young coach, that he might have that better understanding of what it is that motivates younger players and have that sort of emotional intelligence that some older managers might not have. There is that.
Maresca's young. He was an under 21 manager at Man City. He should know as well, you know. So, but yeah, Strasbourg was the youngest team.
I don't feel like Chelsea had down tools when it came to Maresca.
No, I didn't think so either. I think a lot of this is quality, and a lot of it is also immaturity and head loss.
Yeah.
And then yes, some of it is tactical and systematic and in-game management, but it's certainly not just that. There's a lot of other stuff going on there.
What do you make of the length of the contract that you've signed? Sorry, Liam has signed.
All I know is we leave him with that compensation. You know what I mean? I don't know what Maresca was doing, leaving that 14 million on the table, but that won't be happening this time. If it doesn't go well in 18, 24 months and we're back in the same situation again, leave with your money. Take it back to South, you know what I mean? And enjoy. So, I don't know. It's a long contract. I'm sure there's a clause in there after a year. If things are not going how it needs to go, there's a break clause. There always is in these things. But I don't know what the obsession would be to tie him down for that long. Maybe they feel like he's going to improve and progress so much that they don't want him running out of contract. And maybe they're scarred from Maresca's interest in City or City's interest in Maresca. But I don't know, man. It's just what we do. We sign contracts that long.
Yeah. Suge Knight thing.